Welcome to Wednesday. It's the 14th day of June, 2023. Your day with a podcast being brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com. Well, we will start to see a little bit of some warmer and sunnier weather in some areas today, but rain chances aren't going away. We've got a lot of rain gauges looking just like that from Larissa there east of Cheyenne, where rain has fallen a lot lately. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a moment. First of all, the pattern is changing ever so slowly. You may not think of it changing much the way it's been here lately, but things are beginning to move a bit from our blocking pattern. So we will see the weather get a little more active, and that's what we need. We need to kind of get things unstuck so the pattern moves more west to east across the western part of the nation. And that's going to start with a cold front coming out of the Pacific Northwest and through the region Thursday and Friday. And what that'll do is entrain drier air into the Rockies by late Saturday and especially into Sunday and Mondays. What that means is our rain chances are still pretty robust today through Saturday, where showers and thunderstorms are still going to be commonplace in many areas. Then we'll see those chances of showers and thunderstorms decrease, and also that will allow things to get a little bit warmer, especially by Sunday and into Monday and Tuesday of next week. You'll notice things warming up, but we still don't have anything hot. In fact, over the next 10 days, at least the next 7, if you add everything up temperature-wise, we still don't have anything really warm in the west that would be, let's say above average or something that would really get us into a more summery weather pattern. It's going to be a slow process. One reason for that is that a lot of areas have very high soil moisture because of all the recent rain, and that evaporating back into the air acts like a little bit of an air conditioner. But we're going to continue to see scenes like this. Great shot of lightning there from Anna and Cody, and we're going to see shower and thunderstorm chances still popping up in the afternoon and evening hours. Now, I talked about Cheyenne. Now, for those of you that live in southeastern Wyoming, the Front Range of Colorado, parts of far western Nebraska, it has seemed like it has rained almost every day. Not only does it seem like it, well, the data backs that up. Let's go all the way to the end of May. So this is the last week of May here in Cheyenne. The last week of May, it rained just about every day except the 30th. The 30th of May, Cheyenne did not report any precipitation, 0. But you can see there were several days in a row, all but one in the last days of May, where it rained, and it was enough to measure. That's pretty amazing there for the week. But let's put the month of June in. Month of June, every day in the month of June, this does not include the 13th. It did rain the 13th, but all 13 days of June, it has rained at least a trace or more. And only 2 days it was a trace. All the other days, the rain was pretty measurable. So that means it has rained 15 days actually in a row. 15 days in a row, it has rained in Cheyenne and many areas of southeastern Wyoming. And it has rained 20 out of 21 days. So for 3 weeks, it has rained every day, measurable rain, except one day. So if it seems like it's rained every day, it's because, well, it has. And here's one reason. You can see the swirl right here. That's the upper level low that over the last few weeks has been over here. So there's movement now. So you can still see a lot of high humidity air. Now for you keen observers, you may notice right here. Notice the orange. The air is much drier here coming into the Pacific Northwest. This is the cold front that's coming in later on this week. So there's dry air behind it. There's dry air coming up into the desert Southwest, but there's all this humidity still right here to feed the development of afternoon and evening scattered showers and thunderstorms. But with the low now here and beginning to accelerate to the east, this is going to allow the pattern to get unstuck a little bit. And you can see it here. Here it is right here. By later this morning, there's the cold front and the trough in the Pacific Northwest coming on through and moving on by. So this is going to kind of unstuck things a little bit. Circulating around this low in the Great Lakes and the low that's out here is going to draw in a little bit of smoke and haze. So you can see here's the blue dot is Cheyenne. There's Denver. So you can see some of the darker areas here. That's going to be a little bit of smoke and haze. Not thick, but it's actually being drawn southwestward around the counterclockwise circulation of the low out here in the Midwest. So that is going to make it maybe a little hazy today in some areas, but back here with this cold front coming through, we'll sweep that out. It should not affect air quality much. The green is adequate air quality, nothing to worry about. The yellow areas here and the red areas closer to the fires and the deeper smoke is where there might be a little bit of concern. We still have fires up in Alberta and parts of Canada up here, but I will tell you that over the next week, those areas, both fire areas, are going to be getting rain, especially in Alberta. That should really help out that situation there. So if you see a little bit of haziness, that's why. Now this is by Friday. By noon Friday, the upper trough is coming through. So it's still going to be producing weather. The drier air is still going to be back here, and the moist air will be pushed out ahead of it. And you can see this. This is for today. Still a lot of humidity, drier air here in the Midwest, but still plenty of humidity to feed on. This is by Friday noon. So noon today, by noon Friday. Notice how it lines up. See how it lines up like this? Then the dry air coming behind it. So there's going to be today, tomorrow, and Friday, and probably into Saturday, still a high probability of showers and thunderstorms. And some of those showers and thunderstorms could be a bit strong as this cold front goes through. So we're not done by any means. Another 4 days where there's going to be a chance of showers and thunderstorms. By Sunday morning, the next low is out into the Midwest. Drier westerly flow comes in. Now we're going to have to deal with this next week. We'll talk about that later on, probably tomorrow and into Friday. But drier air does come in, and this is by Monday. Notice there's a lot of drier air here. There's some drier air punching in out of the southwestern United States. There's still a fair amount of water vapor still associated with this. You can see that up into Canada there. So there's going to be still some shower and thunderstorm activity, but the overall pattern, the air masses are changing. It's just not a rapid change. This is by Wednesday. Now this upper low right here into Canada is probably going to stay up there and head this way. That's why Alberta, northwest Canada, is likely going to be cool and wet. Southwest winds, though, by early to mid next week, come out of the deserts. So this is going to mean warmer, drier air getting punched into this region by the early part of next week. So patterns are changing slowly at first, but they're there. This is by next Wednesday. That is a big change. Look how much drier the air is right here. Now, there is going to be a frontal system getting pushed through that will probably trigger. We may have a severe weather situation around Tuesday of next week. We need to watch as this comes through, but behind that is going to be a much drier air mass. So still an active pattern, still a lot of moving parts, but things are finally changing. The dominant flow of air that's been coming from the south and east better than 3.5 weeks is finally changing. But to get to that finish line of the overall bigger changes back to something different is going to take 4 to 5 days to evolve. And there you can see this is through Saturday morning. So through Saturday morning, there's ample opportunity, especially in this axis here, the same axis that's been there, for more shower and thunderstorm activity before things begin to get a little bit drier. And you can see the rain's up in Alberta, the rain's up here in areas of Canada as well. If you were to add up the next 10 days temperature-wise, though, if you look at the lower 48 states, you can see south of Canada where temperatures up here are going to be warmer than average. But most of the lower 48 temperatures, with the exception of the northern plains and down into Texas here, the rest of the country is not going to be hot at all. It's going to be warm in these orange areas, but the blue and the green areas are just showing that there's nothing really hot boiling up here for the last days of June, but it is going to trend warmer than it has been. Have yourself a good Wednesday. See you tomorrow.